Hey everybody. So I'm Jennifer Bryant with Bryant's Roost, and I normally come on here and talk to you about birds, but we had a different problem, and I wanted to share with you first the problem and then how we fixed it. And it was actually a really easy fix. It wasn't overly expensive, and we are over a month into it now, and it's still working. So we have, if you follow me on Facebook, then you know we have a big old Holstein named Mabel, and she is, I don't know, 1,600 pounds of cat. She wants to rub on you, be loved by you. She likes to eat treats, like she likes milk bones. I know those aren't good for her, but she loves them. Um, And we like to breed her because she grows really nice big calves with all of her nice Holstein milk. Well, it's very hard to find a bull that is large enough to reach her. And I'm not set up to do AI. I don't have a head gate or a catch gate or anything like that. And so it's just easier for us to have a bull and let him do his thing out there, right? So we went and we found, we call him Big Bo, but he's actually a registered Hereford, and his registered name is Bocephus. And so I just call him Big Bo. And we have him estimated around 2,500 pounds or so. He's huge. And he's really nice. You can scratch him and feed him. I mean, I don't want to go out there and lay down with him or anything, but he's a bull. You have to have respect for that. But he's a big old boy, okay? Well, in the back of the property, we have some fencing that we just kind of threw up, and it's in kind of a soggy area, and the wooden posts are getting old, and when the ground is really soft back there, um, you could, sometimes say that it's being held up with imagination, but we haven't had any issues, and so we haven't really thought much about it. Well, Big Bo decided that the grass was greener on the other side of the fence and started leaning on it and pushed it over. Well, he ended up ripping a hole in it, and some cows got out, and then the dogs got out, and then the goats got out, and it was kind of a thing for a couple days. Luckily, we are basically double fenced, so we back up to some state property. They have chain link fence, and then we have kind of like an alleyway to just let the trees and stuff grow up for some privacy reasons, and then we put our woven wire fence so that even though they got out, they didn't get out, right? So we have gates at either end of that alleyway, and we just went and opened the gate, pushed them back into the field, and they were fine. Well, we repaired the hole that he put in the fence, and the next day, same problem. So I ended up having to get the fence repaired again, meaning call the kids, right? And we had to close the gate to that particular field, which, yeah, is a lot of grass back there. And so I didn't want that to be a permanent fix. I needed the cows to come back there to graze, and I needed the goats to be able to go to the front to clean the woods because we like to keep the poison ivy eaten up, right? So we like tried to figure out what we could do, how we could fix the fence or whatever. And Grazeline contacted me and said, "Hey, we think we can help you with your problem." Well, what they sell is an electric poly braid that you can either use as your fence if you wanted to, or in our case, we just hung it on the T-post as a secondary measure. Now, um, I wanted to hang it at a height that kind of worked for the goats, the dogs, and the cows. And I did it myself, and it was cold and it was muddy, and so don't judge my hanging of the insulators too much. I just wanted to get it thrown up there so we could open the gates, and I can always fix it, you know, later. I haven't fixed it yet because it's working fine and I have other things going on. But anyway, so I made this video kind of showing exactly what was going on and kind of walk you through how we ended up using the Grazeline Polybraid. So let me make this a little larger. Okay, let's push play. Okay, so he's pushing the fence. This is the fence that he was pushing, and this is big old Bo, right? And he's huge, like yeah, huge. So I'm put this in here because I'm trying to hang up the insulators, and the goats were helping me take them back down. By the time I got to the end, they had taken about half of them down, and I had to go back and rehang them all together. Now, one thing I do want to tell you that I messed up on is if you'll look at our T-posts, they are turned out. And of course, the insulators are supposed to be on the flat side. So in true Jennifer style, I rinky dinky attached them on there, and I'm going to tell you that it's fine. They haven't come off yet in over a month. And you know, if it works, it works, right? Because that's what you do on the farm. So this is actually the poly braid that we ended up getting. It's made by Grazeline. They sell exclusively on Amazon. It's an electric poly braid. And the color is a big feature to it because it's neon. You can see it from pretty far away. And that means that the animals can see it and not run through it. Growing up, we had a horse, and of course, we had to mark the electric fence for the horse, but for whatever reason, the cows would stay away from the electric fence. So I can imagine that this color feature is super important in the horse world. But for my purposes, I think that yes, they can see it, um, and I can see it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they see it once and they stay away from it. I mean, the cows growing up did, and we didn't have fancy wire. But in this particular case, they saw it. They went up there to investigate it afterwards, and you'll see what happens here in just a second. But I wanted to show you a picture of how it comes in these spools. It's a wooden spool, and it has the connectors. So if you need to cut it, which we cut it with a pair of scissors, and connect it back or connect two strands together, the connectors were inside of the spool, and we just used two screwdrivers. We just put screwdrivers in the end and then walked along and unspooling it in order to hang it. The entire process took about an hour. So this was super, super easy. So we ended up using about 500 feet, but I am going to go ahead and put it the rest of the way around the property. Now here I'm holding the camera with one hand, and we are trying to finish it up when I realized I didn't take any video. So there's the screwdrivers, and he's walking along unspooling in front of me. And so with my right hand, I'm holding the camera, and my left hand, I'm hooking them on the insulators. That is just how easy it was to install. And I put them up where the cows would be around chest high, but also the goats wouldn't keep climbing the fence. I don't have a problem with my goats getting out, but they do like to stand and rub on it. And so this has stopped that problem. But you'll see, he's got it pulled a little tight right there. But you'll see I mean, I'm not having any trouble with it at all. Even putting the insulators on backwards, they're still stuck there to this day. I mean, it hasn't hurt anything. The idea here is that it works. It's not necessarily super fancy. You'll see that it is not a straight line. I had to go around some tree stumps and over a connecting fence and around, and it works. I mean, it's there. And we ended up using a solar charger, and it sets on top of the T-post, and then we literally just use the T-post as the ground. I wasn't for sure it was going to work, but it does. And we were picking up on my tester, it was reading a 7.5, so it was doing just fine. It does kind of loosen up a little bit, and then you can tighten it. I just haven't been back out there to tighten it. But you can see here that you can see it from a distance, so the animals would be able to also see it. That's about 500 feet away right there. But I have let the cows back into the field now in this picture, and everybody's grazing and they were happy. Of course, they hadn't walked over there to test it yet because the grass had been growing for a few weeks and they had to mow that down. But here we go. This is where they decided to go investigate it. You'll see Edie and Patty Cake. Yep, they touched it. They startled, but it wasn't so bad that like they hurt themselves. Big Bo, he just kind of watched them and he was like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to touch that. I don't know if he had electric fence at his last house and knew what it was. But to my knowledge, I have not caught him testing it himself. And I stood here and watched him walk the whole fence row and he did not touch it. Or if he did, he did not react to it at all. But no, right now, as I'm recording this, they're in that particular field right there, and they have not bothered the fence. It hasn't been pushed over anymore. And I mean, it's working. The people at Grazeline, they were really, really great. He told me exactly what I needed to get, and and he was confident that it would fix my problem, and it did. So I thank them very much for reaching out and offering to help me. And I I like it so much I have put it in my Amazon storefront, and all of the items that I used, and you can see they're not super expensive. Those are chain gates, latches. And I mean, that's it. So I'm going to drop the link to the Amazon storefront in the description below, and you can investigate Grazeline Polybraid for yourself. And I'm confident that it would work for you too.